Is the Arender A200 network server the ultimate all-in-one system for audiophiles and music enthusiasts? Let's find out. Priced at $6,300, the A200 model replaces the A100 as Arender's most compact and economical analog output network streamer with DAC. The A200 is a great option for audiophiles and music enthusiasts and is an ideal choice as the sole source component in a high-performance digital audio system. While, on the surface, the A200 may appear to be just a computer, it is really a true meld between a computer and high-end audio product. Separate power supplies on the most important critical pathways, internal UPS to protect the entire product, caching to ensure the data stream is the best it can be, and so on. Arender has thought of everything to ensure the best streaming audio solution. For $6,300, the A200 is a refined listening experience that delivers unrivaled performance. So if you're wanting to reach new sonic pathways, let's see if the new A200 might be right for you. If variety is the spice of life, then Arender is a veritable spice shop. They've successfully curated numerous products from digital and analog output servers, servers with CD rippers, servers with built-in DACs, and so forth. Arender designs and manufactures all of their products with an approach to provide a high level of stability, reliability, and predictability of operation. Arender is all about taking the computer out of the computer audio experience, giving users access to the world of streaming music without the hassle of using a computer. It's one of the reasons why Drew Baird, PE, owner and founder of Moon Audio, highly recommends Arender, and why we're always excited to hear about their newest products. They're a one-stop shop. All hardware and software engineering of their products is done in-house, requiring no third-party software or external hardware. And Arender has a knack for making great audio hardware and great audio software. Developing amazing hardware alone is quite the feat, and some might say it's even more difficult creating a software application with a sleek and easy-to-use user experience. Arender is the unicorn of the hi-fi audio streaming market, creating one of the most, if not the best, seamless user listening experiences in this regard. At first glance, you'll notice the 6.9-inch full-color LCD display screen front and center on the A200. The display reproduces album artwork in vivid color, as well as artist, album name, and system status. The A200's compact form factor gives it a simple yet elegant aesthetic, allowing it to blend into your system without being too flashy. The A200's machined aluminum chassis comes in two finishes, silver and black. The server weighs around 21 pounds and sits at a little over 3.5 inches tall with the feet. On the left-hand side of the front panel, you'll find the on-off button, input selection, and IR receiver eye that controls the signal from the included remote control. Simply press and release the input selection button to toggle inputs. A200 internal player, coax, and optical. Pause, play, and track skipping buttons are also located on the front panel. The A200 is an all-in-one analog output network player with some pretty cool internals that we want to show off. We are going to give you an inside look underneath the hood of this server. What makes the A200 special is the use of separate power supplies. The CPU, drive functions, and audio circuit pathways are powered independently. This minimizes the current draw on each transformer, thus generating much lower peaks and valleys with more headroom, i.e. volume range, and less noise. Think of it like a Volkswagen Bug that's pulling a boat trailer. We all know a Bug wasn't designed to pull much of anything, so a boat trailer would put extreme stress on the Volkswagen's engine. The car's power would be pulled in so many different directions that it'd be having a hard time performing at its best. Arender chose to separate each one of these individual components in the chassis and give them their own power supply so that they can perform their process much better than they would if they were all grouped together. By doing that, this is how you make those incremental differences in sound quality. For a server to output analog audio, it must have a DAC. Now, not every server is going to have an internal DAC, but that's not the case with the A200. The DAC is responsible for the majority of the sound quality because it does the heavy lifting and is really what creates that coloration. In the case of the A200, the internal DAC board has its own dedicated transformer, resulting in less crosstalk and current draw on any single transformers for the quietest possible audio output. The AKM4490 DAC has a rich, smooth, non-fatiguing sound that can competes with the best analog rips while still providing all of the detail and resolution that's possible from a high-end digital solution. Arender has been incorporating UPS uninterruptible power supply backups into their newest products. The A200 features a supercapacitor UPS system that stabilizes the server in the event of an abrupt power loss. The A200 is like a computer in the sense that any abrupt losses to power can negatively impact the unit. To combat that, the 3 capacitors charge up and temporarily provide power to the A200 until power is restored. So if for any reason the power goes out while you're listening to music on the A200, you don't have to worry about any unforeseen damage to the unit's internals. So we've got all these ways to pull music, but where is it being stored? Right here on the back of the A200 are 2 storage bays where you can install your own hard drive filled with all your favorite songs and store them indefinitely. Load up to 2 disks of any capacity for storing files. Note, the storage bays are for 2.5-inch drives rather than the more common and affordable 3.5-inch desktop size disk drives. Now, you don't have to utilize these storage bays, but for someone who wants all their music in one place, it's a nice feature to have. When the time comes to play music off these drives, you can view every song on the Arender Conductor app. On the app is also where you will format newly installed disks, see the available space, and clear the contents of the disk. There is a version of this app called Conductor V3 that's designed for smartphone applications, but either app works. Once you've got all your files pulled, either from the hard drive or external connections, they'll go into the caching drive. Arender uses a massive solid-state memory drive to hold all of your music files. Think of the cache as a safe space for all your music, patiently waiting to be played. You can view your cache and select songs to play in the Conductor app, and even clear the entire cache if you'd like. Caching provides a more stable and reliable playback engine while optimizing audio performance by allowing the system to run as light as possible. With caching, there are some files that can be cached and some that cannot. Files pulled off a hard drive via USB or network-attached storage can be cached, as well as any files stored on the user installable storage. In terms of streaming, Tidal and Qobuz are 2 streaming services supported on the Conductor app, both of which can be cached. Internet Radio and Spotify Connect are also available on the app, but cannot be cached because they're considered a constant stream. The same applies for CD files pulled off a CD player. Although one file at a time is being pulled from the player, it's considered a constant stream and will not be cached. Check out the links in the description below for blogs on the Conductor app, as well as how to transfer music to your server. When you've got an entire audio setup working harmoniously to produce the best possible playback, timing matters. When digital data is sent from place to place within a circuit or over USB and other inputs, you can get timing errors. This can happen when one piece of information arrives at a different time than the rest. It's a delicate dance that makes a world of difference and can cause jitter if not corrected. Jitter is what's known as digital noise and can deteriorate the sound quality. Arender combats this by incorporating clocks into most of their products. The A200 has a precision clock generation system to reclock any timing errors. The A200 has 3 USB outputs, a dedicated USB audio output for audio, and 2 USB 3.0 rear ports where you can plug an external hard drive or connect a NAS to your network and pull files from it. There are also 2 digital inputs for even more opportunities to pull music onto the A200, a coax RCA and an optical Toslink input. You can connect a CD player to the server and pull CD files, or use the optical input to connect your laptop, as well as 2 RCA analog outputs, which you can use to connect the A200 to a preamplifier or power amplifier. Let's talk about integrating the A200 into your audio setup. The first step would be to connect the A200 to a network router. The A200 uses a wired network connection. Wi-Fi can be finicky at times, and one quick drop in the Wi-Fi will make your music go out for a second, causing your unit to pause the music until a stable connection is restored. Arender is bypassing any possible Wi-Fi dropouts by using a wired Ethernet connection. Now, if you have to use Wi-Fi, there is a way to do so. You can use a dongle that plugs into the back of the A200. However, we recommend using an access point. To do so, you would plug in a network cable from the A200 to an access point that's connected to the router. We always recommend a wired connection over a wireless for the best chance at an uninterrupted listening experience. The A200 has a high-quality digital volume control, which allows you to connect directly to a power amp for a simple, streamlined system. If you're connecting straight into a power amplifier, make sure the volume on the A200 is turned down before playing music. If you're using a preamp or integrated amp, Arender suggests setting the volume output to direct mode within the Conductor app. This will disable the volume control knob on the A200 and allow volume to be controlled on your preamp or integrated amp. Arender offers technical support that is second to none. Through the Conductor app, you can request remote support, which grants Arender's team the ability to remotely access your unit to diagnose and fix any software issues. After the unit is inspected and/or repaired, remote access will be disabled, so there are no security breaches. This is a unique feature and a convenient one at that. No shipping the unit off and waiting weeks for its return in most cases. Connecting the A200 to your favorite preamp, integrated amplifier, or even a pair of powered speakers is easy. The A200 utilizes a pair of single-ended RCA outputs. For our integration, we picked the Silver Dragon interconnects as the best sonic combination for the AKM DAC chip. The UP-OCC silver conductors of the interconnect offer incredible detail, resolution, and presentation. All of the notes to the music have more air around them. This, balanced with the warm musical tonality of the AKM DAC circuit, makes it a match made in heaven. Drew Baird, PE, owner and founder of Moon Audio, primarily uses the Pass Labs HBA1 amplifier as his go-to driving force for all headphones. It too is a single-ended design like the A200, so the sound came together like two peas in a pod. What a combo, right? We recommend using our Silver Dragon interconnects to integrate the A200 into your audio setup. If you have any questions regarding A200 integration, drop a comment below or reach out to us at our customer concierge service, which will also be linked below. One of our experts will help you identify any problems and walk through the best audio setup. Here at Moon Audio, Drew Baird, PE, owner and founder, uses an 80-20 rule as a generalization when talking about combining a streamer and/or server with a DAC. The streamer and/or server provides about 20% of the sound signature, and the DAC is responsible for the other 80%. Now, this is a generalization to get the point across that the DAC does the heavy lifting in terms of providing the sound signature of the audio signal. Since the A200 can be used as both a streamer with an internal DAC, as well as provide the ability to connect an external DAC via the USB connection, we will still use this rule to talk about the sound signature. This also offers a great upgrade down the road as DAC technology changes. You're not pigeonholed and stuck with the internal DAC. With that being said, the sound quality of the A200 is fabulous. The AKM 4490 is known for its musicality. The A200 has a good bass attack and thick mids, which makes it exceptional for singer-songwriter style music, which is rich in vocals. There are plenty of high-frequency extensions for wonderful detail and resolution. I would say the AKM 4490 chip provides the most musical sound of competitive chipsets, and the analog output stage helps show off and strengthen this point. Is the A200 calling your name? Maybe you're an audiophile with an extensive local digital music library who's looking for a one-stop shop solution to house all your favorite songs. Or maybe the A200 is the last component you need to complete your dream home audio setup. For the price point, Arender delivers on its promise to create a server that's streamlined, robust in features, sound quality, and equally boasts one of the best user experiences in terms of software. The fact that Arender designs and manufactures all of the internal hardware speaks volumes, and Arender's guarantee to provide customers with technical support that minimizes headaches and provides satisfaction. With the A200, you get a luxury experience with easy integration and an app that was designed by Arender to work effortlessly with their products. And we believe this is a match made in heaven, an experience that sounds great and just works. Sign me up, please. As always, if you have any additional questions, drop a comment below and we'll be more than happy to answer them. Subscribe to our channel and hit that bell so you don't miss any of our latest videos. Thanks so much for watching.